Hi, welcome back to Brooksy's Bass Corner and my Essential Bass Album series, looking back at albums that in my view are essential listening for any bass player. It might be an album that sold millions of copies worldwide and thrust the bassist onto megastardom, or it might be an album that didn't sell particularly well, but cut a niche for a particular bassist to propel the band or artist onto greater things. Or it might just be a great album in terms of the bass performance. Either way, I think these albums deserve your attention, and perhaps by watching this video you might be intrigued to check out the album for yourself, and who knows, maybe it will excite you as much as it excited me when I first discovered it. Sadly, due to copyright restrictions, I can't use audio examples from the album, but where suitable I will indicate particular songs and their timestamp that I'm referring to. If you enjoy the video, please hit the subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so you receive notifications when I post new videos, and please give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any comments regarding the album being discussed or the video, leave them below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. On with this episode's album. It's Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. Alongside Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life, What's Going On, released in 1971, stands as one of a pair of legendary albums that not only defined the artists that made them, but were the biggest and most important albums in the history of Motown, as well as being immensely influential on the world of music, period. The fact that both albums are still held in such high regard by the listening public at large says everything. What's Going On was released at a time of great unrest and troubles in the US. Consequently, Marvin Gaye was facing his own personal troubles, including depression, cocaine dependency, marital problems, and a strained, to say the least, relationship with Motown boss Berry Gordy. Having been presented with the title track by a band he was producing, Marvin took the basic elements, reworked the melody, and sprinkled the track with his own unique stardust. Gordy hated the song, but once he was convinced by the single's instant sales and the fact it raced up the charts, he performed a U-turn and insisted that Gaye complete the album in less than a month. Using the core Funk Brothers, Marvin intelligently used the album to express his concerns and viewpoint on what was going on in America at that time. And even now it provides the listener with a very vivid snapshot. Thankfully, bar two tracks where Bob Babbitt provides the bass duties, James Jamerson performs a bass masterclass in every sense of the word. Armed with his trusty Fender Precision bass and well-worn Labella heavy gauge flatwound strings played through an Ampeg B15 Portaflex, this album was the first time that Jamerson received any visible credit for his playing on a Motown album. In order to record the title track, Marvin had to locate Jamerson and found him in a local bar slightly worse for wear. By the time he got into the studio, he could barely stand up. But such was the genius of Jamerson, he played the song horizontal, laying flat on the floor. Most people can't even play the bass part even remotely closely while standing up sober. Even when James played busily, he made it sound simple and unbusy, and he manages to keep the pulse of the song going throughout, creating one of his trademark bass lines in the process. What's Happening Brother continues the flow set by the title track, with Jamerson providing an upfront, bubbling bass line that perfectly complements Marvin's tale of Vietnam veterans returning to normal life, only to be disillusioned by the society they return to. Flying High references heroin dependency. The drug culture of the time was at epidemic proportions, but yet again, Jamerson's walking bass line is pivotal and the centre point of the track. His jazz background seriously comes to the fore here as he plays over the chord changes, never putting a foot wrong, and by this point in the album the listener is fully aware that this is a concept album, each track blending into the next, taking the listener on a journey. Save the Children features yet another walking bass line of the highest quality, and you begin to wonder if he knew just what a legendary recording he was contributing to, as this certainly ranks amongst his best work. The bass is at the forefront of the mix, underpinning Marvin's pleading vocals, as if reinforcing the message that Gaye was trying to get across throughout the album. Save the Children has two distinct sections, the second of which segues into God Is Love, reprising the groove and feel of the title track and this eventually morphs into the groove that leads into Mercy Mercy Me, another Marvin Gaye classic with Bob Babbitt filling the bass chair. Sometimes simplicity works best. Right On is a funky Latin hybrid and should come as no surprise that Carlos Santana covered the track on his 1992 album Milagro and featured Larry Graham on vocal duties. Inner City Blues is incredibly evocative with its sparse syncopated funk line courtesy of Babbitt again. Whichever way you look at it, this is classic Marvin Gaye. Listening to the album now, it sounds like many of the concerns Marvin Gaye was expressing are unsurprisingly as relevant now as they were then. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so that you receive notifications when I post up new videos, and please give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments regarding the video, leave them below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. Look forward to seeing you here again on Brooksy's Bass Corner.